Alright, now we're going to look at Blue Keep, and that's of course the EBG Keep in the southeastern corner. This one gets 31 supply per minute from supply camps in total from Danelon and from Umber Glade, and the workers take 38 seconds for each iteration where they're putting in supply, and that's about 4 to 5 seconds longer than the other two keeps in EBG, so that's quite unfortunate that this one upgrades the slowest, but of course it does get about 2 more supply per minute on average than the other keeps, so it's an improvement, I guess. So the most common gate, or not necessarily the most, probably the most common gate, is double gate that gets hit. It's this one right here. Of course there's 2 burning oils here, so that's an issue. If you place flame rams right on the gate, you'll actually hit the second gate. You're in enough range to hit the second gate. So you break this gate down, and then you can target the second gate and still hit it with those flame rams from that position. So it's a pretty common tactic to do that. Of course you can place siege all up top here. You've got cannons on both sides, which aren't a big deal, but this thing goes back really far, so if you place arrow carts up here and they arrow cart from here, it's very hard to reach arrow carts all the way back on this wall. If you have omegas, they'll reach everything up top, but arrow carts very tough to reach without omegas. And of course here's another gate that typically, this is the inner gate. You have a nice siege spot here on the back part of the stairs. It's very hard to reach. Everything along here is pretty comfortable to reach. And then back over here is another great arrow cart spot. This is just very hard to AoE, and you can reach all over there. Of course, yeah, this is the inner gate, and there's also a wall. Of course, if it's fortified, you probably aren't going to be going for it. Now I'm going to go up here real quick, and here's another wall, and there's a wall too. So you'll see if you actually catapult this wall, that same catapult can reach this wall. In fact, you'll probably want to catapult this wall if you're doing that, but of course if it's fortified, you're not going to be doing that at all. Cannon here, it's a random ballista. Mortar here, this one is important because it can reach Bravo's tower. You see Bravo's right here, it can mortar down the flame rams. In fact, the mortar back there can also do the same thing. You can mortar down the flame rams that are on the gate. You can mortar down catapults if they try to go for the wall over there. I'm going to go this way. Of course, here's the other gate. This is a pretty good gate to hit, other than the double gate. The gate's right here. That's because there's no great arrow cart spots up here. You can pretty comfortably AoE any of these with LEs, and Omega will just more than comfortably take down all arrow carts up there too. Now I'm going to show you guys a little nifty area that's over here. You can go through this tunnel. Yeah. Of course, I'm going to try to speed up, and this is a sneaky way to enter the keep. Of course, from this perspective, I'm exiting. You just go up here, it'll take you right outside, and see, I'm outside. But yeah, if you look at the keep's design, it's a huge keep with a great big courtyard all over here. Alright, now we're going to look at Watergate, which there's 2 ways to get there. One is you go this way and you go down this hole. The other is you just go all the way around here, jump in the water and swim, and then you'll get to Watergate. Now I'm getting ganked. Fortunately for me, I'm a thief, so this guy's not getting me. That silver legend trying to get me. I'm going to get out of here. But here's a way to get to Watergate that I'm taking right now, actually. This is really sneaky. Going this way, you just keep going this way. You kind of below a little bit. Of course, you can be spotted, there's no doubt about it. And you're gonna go up these stairs, take a right here, and there's this thing. Now we're gonna jump down this. This is really quite cool. You guys can see where I am. Jump down, land in water. So if you're in an alpha jumping, that's okay, but you do have to go pretty far in the water here. And I'll end up by Watergate. So we'll take a look at it, and here's Watergate. You can ram it. It's not very common that there's siege up here. In fact, you cannot build siege up here, by the way. If you're trying to build an arrow cart ballista here, you can't. It doesn't let you build siege there. So here's Watergate. I'm gonna go inside, and it actually has a pretty good arrow cart spot. You can see you can build arrow carts back here and still use your camera to hit them. So arrow carts kind of right here and back here actually are pretty tough to reach. Actually, you're not going to want to build them over here. You're going to want to keep them on this side, on this ramp. So if you see how far back it is from the front, very hard to reach these. Of course, usually if you're stealthy enough, they're not going to see you on Watergate, and you should be able to break through before they get resistance on you if you have enough supply. And then you're going to, of course, go up here, and there you've got the gate that you can enter. Of course, if we want to just take a look at this up here, it's just kind of independent of this, but there's mortars here. You can mortar your own tower, so if they have rams down at this tower, Langor Gulch, you can mortar their rams down. In fact, this mortar is the more popular one. That's what our teammate's probably trying to do right now. Of course, you don't have to go to this gate after you get to Watergate. You can work your way around. But this is the last thing that's left. We'll take a look at this gate, and that'll wrap this up. So we'll go ahead and enter this, and let's get up top of the wall. And we'll see what it looks like. So there's also inner mortars, you can tell. There's actually a nice staircase here, because you can build arrow cart back here. Tough to reach, and you can still arrow cart away. Anything back here, you can build arrow carts back here in AoE. Of course, LE meteor tower or dragon suit would still reach it, but the way that it slopes down, it makes it harder for them to see your arrow carts because they don't have a great camera view. Now, if they're in a Magus, it's not going to matter. They'll take those down very comfortably, and pretty much wraps this up. The last thing I'm going to mention is if you do the jumps to get up top of the vista, you can build siege up there, and it'll reach down inside here. It won't reach towards this gate, unfortunately. But you'd have an issue with siege refreshing if it's up there. So anyways, that'll end Blue Key.